Officers find no human remains today as probe and recovery work finish at 2 blocks of Wong Fu Court estate, with some 150 individuals still missing. Hong Kong enters a 3-day official mourning period for victims of the city's deadliest fire in decades. And bouquets are stacking up outside the Sha Tin Fire Station for fallen firefighter Ho Wai-ho. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Quentin Yang. With the rescue mission entering a 4th day at Wong Fu Court in Tai Po, the death toll stood at 128, with 83 injured. Some 40 bodies are yet to be formally identified, and about 150 individuals remain unaccounted for. Around 600 personnel from the police's Disaster Victim Identification Unit, or DVIU, have been deployed to search 2 of the blocks. While no further fatalities were discovered today, 3 cats and a turtle were rescued. Meanwhile, government officials and mourners from all walks of life have turned out to pay their respects, as the city commences a 3-day mourning period today. Jeremy Zhu begins our coverage with an update of the rescue efforts.
In the aftermath of the disastrous blaze, Wang Fuk Court lies in disarray. Collapsed bamboo scaffolding and debris litter the ground, a chaotic scene of layered wreckage. With the fire fully extinguished and fire engines departing, the complex investigation has commenced. A large contingent of police from DVIU dressed in full protective gear arrived in shifts. Nearly the entire 640-strong force was mobilized. Equipped with cameras, they enter the disaster zone to assist in the grim task of identifying the deceased. In groups of 4, they proceeded into the flats, meticulously documenting the location and condition of remains, as well as any personal effects found nearby. Amy Lam, regional commander of New Territories north of the police, described the interior as extremely complex and dimly lit, with severe fire damage and calf-deep flooding in parts. Collapsed debris has left search teams with very little space to operate, significantly complicating their work. However, she confirmed sufficient personnel are on standby to conduct a thorough door-to-door search. Commissioner of Police Zhou Chao and Deputy Commissioner Andrew Khan visited the site in the afternoon to oversee the multi-departmental effort. A government task force will investigate the fire's cause, its rapid spread, and the factors leading to the high number of casualties. The probe is expected to take 3 to 4 weeks. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Chief Executive John Lee and principal officials pay their respects to the victims of the deadly Tai Po fire as the city enters a 3-day mourning period today. The national flag and the SAR flag were lowered to half-mast at all government buildings in honor of the fire victims. Evelyn Bai reports.
The memorial service began at 8 a.m. at the government's headquarters. With the national flag and SAR flag flying at half-mast, officials led by Chief Executive John Lee, Director of Beijing's Liaison Office in Hong Kong, Zhou Ji, as well as Deputy Directors of the Hong Kong and Macau Work Office, Nong Rong and Xu Qifang, observed a 3-minute silence in memory of the fire victims. Members of the public gathered outside the government headquarters to join in the silent tribute. I feel a particular sting and shock from the devastating fire. We all live in Hong Kong. I came here as a way to express my mourning, said this man. This woman said this has been a very heavy and sorrowful week for her, and she truly feels sad for the victims. At the Legislative Council, LegCo President Andrew Leung, along with hopefuls, stood still for 3 minutes in tribute before signing the Book of Condolence. At the Maritime Regional Headquarters in Sai Wan Ho, police vessels sounded long blasts from their horns in mourning. From Saturday to Monday, the national flags and the regional flags displayed at all government buildings, including overseas offices, will be flown at half-staff. During the 3-day mourning period, government officials will reduce their attendance at non-essential public activities, and celebration activities organized by the government will also be cancelled or postponed as appropriate. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Hong Kongers are also paying tributes to victims of the inferno, with the government setting up mourning stations across all 18 districts. Meanwhile, Tai Po residents have also held vigils near the fire scene, laying flowers in memory of those who lost their lives. Jeremy Zhu reports.
This small park near Wang Fuk Court has become a repository for the community's grief. Bouquets of flowers, paper cranes, and messages of support covered the grounds. This man said he came because he felt a profound sadness and wanted to help in any way he could. He confessed his emotions are still raw, explaining that some victims could be his co-workers or friends, though the full details are not yet clear.
Oh, I feel so sad for them because they don't know, especially for those the family, they cannot find them. So I'm so sad. My heart is so broken. Even I don't know the people.
Another woman stated that as an ordinary citizen, she can only offer her time, organizing and delivering donated supplies, adding that many students at her school were affected, prompting her to rally more people to assist. The government's district mourning stations are simple setups with a few long tables, white flowers, and memorial books for the public to write their condolences. Some mourners had lost friends in the blaze, while others came early after finding the news reports deeply unsettling. This man in Sa Yin Pun mourning station expressed his heartbreak, but urged people not to dwell solely on grief, stressing the need to look forward. He declined to criticize any policy, but expressed a hope that, in future, everyone should act with a clear conscience. The 18 district mourning stations will remain open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. until Monday. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
Fellow firefighters and members of the public gathered at the Sha Tin Fire Station today for a solemn ceremony honoring firefighter Ho Wai-ho, who lost his life during the Tai Po fire rescue operation. Ho's colleagues stood in silent tribute outside the station, which flew its flag at half-mast in his honor. The entrance was adorned with flower bouquets and thank you cards from citizens, paying respect to the 9-year service veteran. During the intense 5-alarm fire, Ho lost contact shortly after entering a burning building. He was later found unconscious in an open area near a lift lobby in Wang Chiang House and pronounced dead at the hospital. The tragic event has deeply moved the community, prompting some parents to bring their children to the memorial to help them understand firefighters' sacrifices. To support Ho's family, the Fire Services Department Staff's General Association has announced a donation drive, with details to be released online. With the increasing amount of emergency assistance pouring in for the Wong Fu Court fire, Deputy Chief Secretary Warner Chuk said the supplies received are now substantial and adequate, suggesting residents to halt further donations to avoid potential waste. Meanwhile, Home and Youth Affairs Secretary Alice Mack said at least 929 affected households have received the $10,000 relief handout so far. Evelyn Bai reports.
Speaking at a press briefing, Mack confirmed that both owners and tenants in Wong Fu Court are eligible to receive the $10,000 grant and an extra $50,000 living subsidy, prepared for distribution next week, processing through the one social worker per household mechanism. In addition, a consolation payment of $200,000 will be given to the family of each victim. The Home Affairs Chief also said the government-led support fund for Wong Fu Court in Tai Po, with a startup capital of $300 million, has received $800 million from various sectors, totaling about $1.1 billion. Secretary for Labor and Welfare Chris Sun pledged to step up the assistance. In addition to social worker support, each household will also be helped by 2 to 3 civil servants, ensuring residents are not swamped with application process. The Labor Minister earlier noted that since July last year, the Labor Department has conducted 16 safety inspections, issued 6 improvement notices, and carried out 3 prosecutions over the concerned repair works. He added that the department is working closely with the Indonesian and Philippine consulates in Hong Kong, assisting them in visiting the temporary shelters and identifying victims. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
To alleviate the mortgage repayment burden of the affected owners at Wong Fu Court in Tai Po, the Housing Authority, developer of the residential complex, has relaxed the provisions regarding mortgage repayment periods and repayment amounts under the deed of guarantee. Such relaxation allows banks and financial institutions providing mortgage loans for subsidized sale flats to offer special arrangements to the owners of subsidized sale flats with premium unpaid at Wang Fuk Court, including deferred repayment of mortgage installments or principal. The authority has informed participating institutions and will issue letters to them confirming the arrangements. Separately, the banking industry announced on Friday that 28 retail banks will introduce 6 emergency support measures to help affected residents of Wang Fu Court, including the provision of a 6-month pre-approved repayment grace period for mortgages, personal loans, and credit card loans. In other news, more than 6,000 aircraft have been affected worldwide after multiple airlines were forced to delay or cancel flights. This follows an emergency directive from the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, ordering urgent repairs to Airbus's A320 family, the world's most utilized aircraft, which must be grounded until the work is complete. Jeremy Zhu has more.
According to Airbus, a recent incident revealed that intense solar radiation could interfere with onboard flight control computers. The manufacturer has apologized for the disruption caused. The affected models include the A318, A319, A320, and A321 from the same design series. Approximately 5,100 aircraft can be fixed with a 3-hour software update for their elevator and aileron computers. The remaining older aircraft, however, require a full computer replacement, a process expected to take considerably longer. The issue coincides with the busy Thanksgiving travel period in the United States. American Airlines, which operates the largest A320 fleet, confirmed 209 of its planes are affected, but anticipates most will be repaired by the end of Saturday. Both United and Delta Airlines stated the impact on their operations has been minimal. Elsewhere, carriers across Europe, Asia, and South America have been compelled to cancel flights. Air France cancelled 35 flights on Friday, representing roughly 5% of its schedule, while Japan's All Nippon Airways, or ANA, scrapped more than 90 flights for Saturday. Industry sources indicate this safety concern was uncovered during an investigation into an incident last month. A U.S. JetBlue flight from Cancun, Mexico, experienced a sudden altitude drop, leading to an emergency landing in Florida that left more than a dozen people injured. Jeremy Zhu, Cable News.
At least 250 people have been killed and many more remain missing in Indonesia after devastating landslides and floods triggered by torrential rain battered its Sumatra island. Rescue workers are battling time and terrain to clear debris and recover victims. The hardest-hit North Sumatra province saw streets choked with thick mud, branches, and debris. In the most severe cases, entire villages were buried under landslides, with rescue crews using heavy machinery to clear the soil and retrieve the bodies of victims. The catastrophe has displaced nearly 3,000 families, now forced to seek refuge in temporary shelters. Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto has ordered a rapid emergency response, with relief supplies being airlifted into the worst-affected regions. The disaster, fueled by the tropical storm Sanyar, is part of a wider pattern of deadly floods that have claimed hundreds of lives across Southeast Asia in recent days. Spain has temporarily halted all pork exports to China following an African swine fever outbreak in its Barcelona province, in an attempt to protect exports amid growing pressure from Chinese anti-dumping scrutiny. The suspension was triggered after the virus was detected in 2 wild boar carcasses near Barcelona. The Spanish government confirmed it has preemptively halted all pork shipments to China while awaiting Beijing's formal implementation of a regionalization agreement, which would confine trade restrictions to the affected Barcelona region instead of the entire country. The outbreak intensifies existing challenges for Spain's pork industry, which already contends with growing competition from Brazil and provisional anti-dumping duties from China. Separately, the United Kingdom has also announced it will block pork imports from Spain, holding all fresh pork and affected products at border control posts. On to the weather now. Dry at first, becoming cloudy, 1 or 2 light rain patches tomorrow. Bright periods during the day. Temperatures will range between 20 and 24 degrees. Moderate east to northeasterly winds. And that's our news tonight. I'm Quentin Yang. Thank you for watching. Good night.